You're not failing in the gym because you're lazy. You're failing because you're inconsistent. It's easy to think that you need more motivation, more intensity, and a better workout plan. But the truth is, none of that matters unless you can show up consistently. What's up YouTube, it's Ben, and this video is about the power of consistency and why consistency beats intensity every time in everything. So this isn't really theory for me. When I think about it, I've been training pretty consistently for about 10 years now. There's been periods where I've been motivated and periods where I haven't been at all. I've had structure and I've had chaos. But despite the difficult times, I've made sure to show up regardless. So before the age of 21, when I had a car accident, I was consistent because I really wanted to achieve my goal of getting into shape, of building muscle and looking good. So I think because I was seeing some results by the time that accident happened when I was 21, I knew that consistency was so powerful, and therefore I put it as a main focus in my recovery from this car accident. I then started to experience why having a reason, a why to be consistent was so much more powerful than simply a goal. But in hospital after the accident, I made a decision to be extremely consistent. And I think most people know it's important, but I really want to emphasize just how important I think it is, because consistency isn't about stacking up your best performances one after another. I think consistency has the greatest effect when you do things when you don't feel like doing them. I don't think your best days really define you. I think your average or slightly below average ones do. From what I've noticed, I think to be consistent, you have to be able to tolerate a lot mentally. So I do think you need to start with the right mental attitude to be consistent, because with an intensity mindset, you'll go all in, but you'll burn out too fast and you'll start again Monday. But with a consistent mindset, you do show up with lower energy, but you still execute, which means you can still show up when you're tired and busy. Intensity feels good, but consistency builds results. When I said to be consistent, you need to tolerate a lot mentally, that really refers to emotional control. I was talking to a guy a few days ago and he said that emotional control is the start of everything. To actually be able to execute and make decisions, you first have to be able to tolerate a lot. Before you make any decisions, you have to be in emotional control. I think emotional control is one of the biggest factors that influence consistency. Emotional control is about being unwavered by the results you're seeing if they're bad. Your brain likes to make up stories when things aren't going well, and you need to be able to control that. You need to be so conscious of the excuses you're making. I need more rest, I'll start fresh next week. Your brain tries to avoid things. Discipline is about making your actions on your side when your mind isn't. A lot of people, and myself, are guilty of making things stupidly complicated when they're not. If something doesn't go well, I'll think of so many reasons why that is, when really it's very simple. It's black or white, there's no grey area. You're either consistent or I'm not. Because trying to do something doesn't really make a difference. You either did it or you didn't. I think this point is especially true when getting into shape, because getting into shape is a numbers game. It's not emotional or subjective, it's objective and mathematical. The reps and sessions per week, the calories consumed, the steps taken. Because when it comes down to it, if you do the numbers consistently, the results are inevitable. And the ironic thing is, after 10 years now of training, as time goes on, I'm training less and less for the physique or objective benefits of it, and more for the subjective and mental benefits of training. The gym doesn't just build your body, it builds your brain. One of the main subjective benefits is the identity shift that will occur if you continue training consistently. You stop becoming someone who tries and start becoming someone who does and executes. Another benefit would be emotional regulation. It teaches you to act despite how you feel, and I think that carries over to other aspects of your life as well. It also teaches you cognitive discipline. You train your brain to focus, rest and repeat. It builds confidence because consistency builds evidence. You'll have overall better mental health and reduced anxiety because exercise is the best drug that you can take. When I reflect and think about how I've been able to be consistent with things, I think it's because firstly I've taken time to build a structured routine which I can sustain and then embody an identity around that routine. This means that you don't negotiate, you don't ask, do I feel like going, you just do it. And that's when I think you multiply your progress. I think it's hard, and I found it hard as I'm young, to not go into things with great intensity, but rather be a bit more measured and controlled and focus on building consistency first. To do this, I think it's about controlling your emotions and your actions and show up again and again without negotiating. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this video on consistency. Consistency is everything. Peace.
Is you